This video is brought to you by Knowledge at the Australian School of Business. For more information, please visit knowledge.asb.unsw.edu.au.
Innovation. It's often considered a major driver of the economy, especially when it comes to innovating new products that either add value or increase productivity, like, say, for example, a small instant boiling water heater. It's a kind of innovation that makes people think, well, why did nobody think of that before? Because if you have the instant boiling water heater in the tap, then it means you don't waste all the energy that you would do in, say, boiling an urn or a kettle to heat a load of water, most of which ultimately you're not going to use. Zip Industries were the first company worldwide to develop this small type of instant boiling water heaters. Michael Crouch is the Executive Chairman of Zip Industries. He's also on the Advisory Council of the Australian School of Business, where he funded the initial Chair of Innovation at the Centre for Innovation and Entrepreneurship. Now, Michael, if I could take you back a little bit, Zip Industries, how did it first come up with the concept of small instant water boiling heaters?
Oh, it was a matter of necessity, Julian. It's 30 years ago now, there were many manufacturers of water heaters in this country, and they're all starting to build hot water systems. Until then, hot water systems before 1970 were uncommon in households. People had a heater in their bathroom, heater in their kitchen, but they're able to buy hot water systems on terms from leading department stores. So everybody was tooling up for this huge demand that was expected for hot water systems. We couldn't compete, and I always knew that you could never be a Me Too manufacturer. You always had to have your own unique selling benefits, and our company had to have its unique selling benefits. What could we make that no one else made? And that was the searching question. And obviously, if everybody was having automatic hot water, why not automatic boiling water? I mean, it's just an interesting thought. You could arrive at work in the morning, the urn would be cold. There'd be no boiling water. You'd have to wait 20 minutes for a cup of coffee. I mean, 20 or 30 years ago, you didn't queue up at a coffee shop for a cappuccino. It just wasn't in vogue at that stage. Prior to 1990, nobody really bought a bottle of water as everybody does today. So there was a market for instant boiling water, we thought. It took a long time to convince people, but that was how, it was a matter of necessity. We had to think of something different to what other people did.
Then how hard was it to actually sell this concept? How many years did it take?
Oh, we sold 62 the first year, and after 3 years we were selling 270, I think we'd got up to. And it was regarded as if I was a bit odd, or in the company, I think, a bit of a gimmick that we should be selling instant boiling water. We should be selling what everybody else sold, because that was much easier to sell. We then decided that a boiling water heater couldn't be big, and we decided on designing one the size of a standard kitchen cupboard door. And that is the heater, the white boxes with red taps. That was the size that people wanted. Of course, larger institutions, larger restaurants, larger kitchens had bigger ones, but basically for offices, the smaller ones and 2 or 3 sizes was the way to go.
But this obviously suggests that if anybody comes up with a new innovative product, they're going to have real problems in actually getting anybody to take them seriously.
I think that's possibly right, because you have to learn how to penetrate your market. And that's really boot leather, and you've got to have perseverance, I guess. But if you believe in something, and I met 1 or 2 people and they said, look, Michael, if you believe in it, I have no doubt you'll be successful.
And this really is a problem for many innovators when they're bringing that new product to market. But at the same point, many innovators also seem to be small one-man entrepreneurs. What's the real difference between entrepreneurs and innovators as companies or as individuals?
I think there's a huge difference. Entrepreneur is somebody who really is probably going to start his own business, or he has his own business, and he's entrepreneurial, he's refreshing in his outlook, he thinks of new things to do, he can innovate for those things. But an entrepreneur is usually a passionate individual who believes that he's going to sell certain products or sell certain services, and that's what he wants to do. And he might build that business in varying sizes. That, to me, is an entrepreneur. Innovation, that is a characteristic that we should all have. It's not necessarily aligned with entrepreneur. In fact, I think they're really two different codes of life, if you like. One is describing a certain class of business, the entrepreneurial business. Innovation is a state of mind. In today's world, it's so important that absolutely everybody looks for better ways of doing things. It can be in any government organisation, it can be amongst any group of people, at any standard of work or working level, but just looking for better ways of doing things. That, to me, is innovation.
But have we got a problem in Australia in terms of innovation, in terms of coming up with these new products that would drive forward productivity?
Yes, we have. And what we should be preaching is preaching to people how important it is. On a world basis, Australia is the 15th, I think, I'm pretty confident, 15th largest economy in the world, with our 22 million people. Now, that's pretty phenomenal. But unfortunately, on the innovation index in the world, we're 22nd. Now, for a country that has the third best quality of life and the fourth for economic freedom in the world, and this marvellous can-do attitude that exists in Australia, it's pretty appalling to think that we haven't done better in comparison with the rest of the world. Let me put it another way. We have to be more efficient. We've got to save money in this country because the country now has debt. It's incurred debt for varying reasons. I think we have the 5th largest deficit in the world. That's significant. That's got to be repaid. What do we do about it? We've really got to increase productivity. I don't mean working harder, I mean working smarter, looking for new ways of doing things to reduce our overall costs. That's so important.
So if we take the premise that we've got to increase productivity by increasing innovation within companies and within individuals, how do you actually do that? How do you encourage individuals to come up with these new innovative ideas?
I think it becomes a way of life. I said it's a state of mind, but it becomes a way of life. I think it's an awareness that's got to be taught that there are better ways of doing things. Australians are clever people. We go to the Olympic Games, we take the 3rd or 4th largest team of all countries. Why should we? 22 million. But we think, yes, we'll take the 3rd or 4th. In sport, we want to win. We get a few World Cups from time to time. We lift ourselves up. But if we want this country to be efficient, to take its place in this ever-increasing competitive world, then we must create a culture of innovation. That takes time, but we must begin.
But then, if I can come back to Zip Industries, you are very well known now for these small taps that do dispense instant boiling and now chilled water, but how do you keep on innovating that product, coming out with new or better ways of doing things, or indeed new products?
We're meeting, we have a team of engineers, and we meet consistently. And I guess we're searching, our sales staff, people in the company, what can we do better? How can we increase the features and qualities of our product? I mean, I bought my first bottle of water in 1992. It was at the beach. I was going to buy a Coke. I thought it'd be very daring. I bought a bottle of water. I paid $2 for it, or $1.60. I said to my daughter, darling, I've bought a bottle of water. They charged me $1.60. She said, you're lucky you didn't pay $2, Dad. I was horrified. But she was at university, and it just became a culture then to have filtered water and buy it. So our boiling water heater, the one that goes under the sink, then had a filtered water, have filtered ambient water or chilled water. And whereas everybody used to drink tea or coffee, about 50% of people in offices today will drink water. It's just, we all think it's healthy, we should be drinking water. Now, of course, when you go out and you go to a restaurant, they say, still or sparkling. So obviously we've got to bring out a product that gives boiling water, chilled water, or ambient water, filtered water, and carbonated water. I think you've got to be aware of the marketplace, of what people want, and try and foresee it. We might be a bit slow in having the product, but we will have it, and I think we'll have it before any other manufacturers, yes.
Michael Crouch, thank you very much.
For more business news and analysis from Knowledge at the Australian School of Business, please visit knowledge.asb.unsw.edu.au.